What is up, learners? Welcome to a very exciting new project that is called American Fictions. And wow, what a crazy project it appears to be already. And let's just take a look at some of the stuff you got. You got a crazy folder with all kinds of weird schedules on it. You got some here. It says all discussion groups achieve highly effective. The remaining project becomes choice reading. What is up with that? Alpha, beta, gamma groups. Read, tube, activity. What does that mean, tube? What is that? And then talk. So a lot of things going on here. We're going to start with the entry document, and I'm just going to read that out loud for you. So you probably don't want to read this on the video. You got your own document right in front of you, so you can go ahead and just get busy reading along with me. I'm probably going to do some annotations as I go along, but we'll do that, and then we'll just see where we go from there. So first thing you want to notice is who this letter is from. This is from Harvard University. So you probably, when you see Harvard University, you think about like excellence. And that is exactly what we want you to be thinking about as we begin this very challenging but also exciting and fun project that we're about to get ourselves into. So let's see what else matters here. When it comes to excellence, yeah, we got Harvard University at the top, but at the bottom here, you might also recognize some of these names at the bottom. We've got Edgar Allan Poe, Ernest Hemingway. Maybe you've heard of those people. Maybe you've heard of Ray Bradbury. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've heard of Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've heard of Shirley Jackson. And these three names I just highlighted because if you like science fiction, they basically invented science fiction for us here. So you're going to read some of the very, very best stuff that's available for science fiction. And then if you look over here, we've got another, who we call a giant of literature. His name is Mark Twain. And all these other people on the list they're the same caliber of writers. They're just very, very serious writers. So you're going to read some grown-up stuff in this project, and we hope you love it. We really, really do. So October 11th, 2017, I believe that is today, from Dean of Admissions, Harvard University, to qualified applicants. So guess what? You are qualified. Congratulations. Your exemplary high school transcript demonstrates a level of academic seriousness commensurate with students who thrive at Harvard University. Commensurate is a word that basically means goes with. So congratulations. We're going to pretend for a moment that you are currently graduating and you are qualified. You made it. But you didn't quite make it all the way, so they're going to find out what happens. I take sincere pleasure in informing you that your application has been advanced to the final round of consideration for entrance to our prestigious institution. Fewer than 20% of applicants achieve what you have achieved. You, your parents, and your teachers should be very proud, and we are. We are so proud. Harvard is a rigorous and demanding academic environment. Students who succeed here are highly literate. So you might be saying to yourself at this point, I can read, but can you? How do you read? Can you read anything? Can you figure out what really demanding grown-up texts, what they mean? And also, importantly, do you know how they work? Basically, how do stories work? These are some questions you might have in the back of your mind as you're reading this very passionate and appreciative letter from the Dean of Admissions at Harvard University. I'm sure you'll get a letter like this someday. Harvard students read hundreds, if not thousands, of pages of complex text each semester. A typical first-year student, whether he or she is majoring in mathematics, computer science, biology, or one of the humanities, writes 3 to 10 800 to 1,500 word essays per semester and spends, on average, 12 hours per week reading complex texts. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that 12 hours? Some read a lot more than 12 hours. Literacy skills are the core of any academic pursuit. Before final acceptance of your application, we need to see your literacy skills in action. This paragraph is the real deal. It's really why we do what we do. It's to prepare you for what's next. Prepare for what's next. We do not want you to just get into college. We want you to succeed in college, and we lay the foundation for that starting right now. The final element of the application process is an oral examination. So it seems like now we're getting to the part where we are talking about what is going to happen in this project. Oral examination, which will take place on Friday, November 3rd. Wow, it's even right there. Right there, November 3rd. We know exactly when it's going to happen. It's already on the calendar. You feel the clock ticking. Tick-tock. 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 On this date, you will have 35 minutes to demonstrate a sophisticated understanding. Wait, whoa. What's an oral examination? What is that? That's what I would be thinking if I were reading this, and I am. What is this? What is this? What is this? Is what I would be thinking. Which will take place Friday, November 3rd, 2017. On this date, you will have 35 minutes to demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of the following question. Why does reading fiction matter? Whoa, that seems like what we would call the old driving question. Why does reading fiction matter? And whenever you see a driving question in our class, or really anybody's class, and you're aware that it's the driving question, I would just say, think about it in terms of this. Can I write, if I needed to, if I had to, a 600-word essay? To answer. That's a question. Can you do it right now? No. Can you do it by the end of the project? You better. Why does reading fiction matter? You will be asked to consider the preceding question while referencing several of the pieces of classic American fiction found below. That's complicated. That's complicated. I'm going to have to get out the old highlighter right here. You will be asked to consider the preceding question. Preceding question, of course, precede. What precedes is what comes before. There is the question right there. Preceding question while referencing. What does a referencing mean? Reference. Referencing several pieces of classic American fiction found below. So this paragraph seems like it's pretty important, and it seems like it's also directly related to both this and this. So let's see how it's related. The specific pieces to be discussed will be chosen by the proctor. You know who a proctor is? Someone who gives a test. Guess who it's going to be? Me. Sisson. Someone who gives a test as a proctor on the day of the oral examination. Successful candidates will demonstrate the following during 35 minutes of academic conversation. So here we go again. Now we're talking about 35 minutes of academic conversation. What is that? What is that? What is that? 35 minutes of academic conversation, successful candidates. Okay, so the following. So what is the following? Oh, I guess there's bullet points. So during that conversation, I, meaning you, are going to have to demonstrate a sophisticated and nuanced. What does nuanced mean? Have you seen that word before? That's a word some people like. A sophisticated and nuanced reading of the texts in question. Which texts are in question? Go back up here. The proctor is going to decide. Preceding question referencing several. So several of the texts, and I guess the rest of the texts are right here. There are 14 of them. They are written between 1865 and 2014. They are in this folder, all of them, in their entirety, every single word. in the folder. A sophisticated and nuanced reading of the texts in question. What does it mean? How does it work? Why does it matter? So for each one of these texts, you're going to have to be able to answer that question. What does it mean? How does it work? Why does it matter? An understanding of how the texts fit into U.S. history, you will notice that we have our timeline. And on our timeline, which goes the span, the distance of American history, we have located our texts in little clouds wherever they be, because the Mark Twain America in 1865 is way different than the Sandra Cisneros America in 1989. An understanding of the concepts described in the reading analysis chart below. And now we have a reading analysis chart. Are you scared? Are you scared yet? How are we going to do this? This seems so intimidating. I'm so intimidated by this project. Oral communication. So in the end, it's going to be me talking. And when I say me, I mean you talking. Oh boy, how does the author use symbols and archetypes? What on earth is an archetype? Explicit, inference, I think I heard that before. Characterization, how characters develop and interact with the plot and the theme. What is a theme? What is it? What is it? Maybe I should spell what like this. What? Language and meaning, how diction impacts tone. What on earth is that? Is this a foreign language? How diction impacts tone. I hope someone will help me with this along the way. I am very frightened. Figurative language, connotation and denotation. What? Here's another one of these whats. I just put it there. What? How does the author create effects, mystery, suspense, tension through structure? What is structure? When I think of structure, I think of a building. You're trying to talk to me about books and stories, and you're talking about structure. What? Determining a theme or central idea. There's theme again. Whoa, 2 times? Must be important. Central idea and understanding its development. Ideas are developed through characters, events, setting. There's structure again. I grow more terrified by the minute. How does the author use literary devices to manipulate the reader? We are manipulated as readers. What's a literary device? What is that? Oh, wait a minute. Here's a double wide. Look at this. Here's a double wide section here on literary devices. Must be important. Ambiguity, metaphor, euphemism, hyperbole, irony, personification, sarcasm, symbolism, satire, oxymoron. Everybody loves that word. You love it. You love it so much. Juxtaposition. Wow, there's so much going on here. I just have to highlight something. I'm going to highlight juxtaposition just because I have to highlight something. And then we have the stories. Okay, celebrated jumping frog of Calaveras County. Sounds ridiculous. Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. Boring. Fall of the House of Usher. Really? Usher, 1839. An Open Boat by Stephen Crane. Sounds wonderful. Ransom of Red Chief by O. Henry. What is this? The End of Something. Okay, A Rose for Emily, William Faulkner, who is, by the way, a Southern writer. There's a wonderful literary tradition in the South. Mark Twain is from Missouri. William Faulkner is from the South. And this particular story is about the South. And it has one of those endings where you go, I'll just put it right here. What? That's if you make it to the end. That story is hard. How are you going to do stuff that's so hard? How are you going to make it? Okay. The Lottery, the Velt. That is a word, Velt. Thank You, Ma'am by Langston Hughes. Harrison Bergeron by Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Kurt Vonnegut Jr., by the way, if you care, is one of Mr. Liu's favorite writers ever. Excerpt from House on Mango Street, which we've got 3 people who've read it so far this year, who are 9th graders in your class. Here, And excerpt from Book from the Ground, which is actually a story constructed from emojis, if that is how you spell emojis. Candidates will be able to use their freakishly large group notes. What are freakishly large group notes? I wonder if that's what... Oh, look at this. Look at this. Here's that first story. Here. Oh, my goodness. I feel like I could analyze this one, right? Could I find all these things in here? Oh, my goodness. Where's my freakishly large paper? Here. Whoa, freakishly large. So, you got one of these. You've never had one of these for a project before. It's really big. Hopefully, it all works out. I'm going to do more videos to continue. That's actually what tube is. There's going to be a lot of tubing on this because the truth is that these hard stories, some of these are just way too hard for you to do without any help. So this is going to be a great project. It's going to be a great project because it's really important skills. If you want to think about why you would want to work hard in this project is probably of the things that we're going to do this year outside of your independent reading, which is so important. This project is going to have the biggest impact on your ACT score, if that matters to you. If you want those dollars for school and you want to go to Harvard, you're going to have a high ACT score. And this is going to raise that score. But it's also going to make you a more competent, sophisticated human being, which is what it's all about. So welcome to American Fictions. We are so pumped to take you through this process. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be hard work. It's going to be, let me just look at this. Look at that. That's what you're doing. What are you doing? You're doing that. It's going to be amazing.